Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come and say hello. Wish you a good day. Tomorrow is an important day. There's going to be Venus is going to enter Virgo. Right now, I'm going to. It is a challenging time as always, but because we continue. We're getting very close to this great event. Spirit was talking to me about the event, and so there's very powerful energies that will be shifting the world, and so we want to align ourselves as much as possible with our divinity, our soul. For we find our soul, we find God, and because the soul is the divine part of ourselves. The highest wisdom for us today is the destiny, to understand our destiny, to align with our destiny. What we need to understand is the effort, to produce the right efforts. Once the effort is being produced, we have nothing to do but to flow with the flow. What we need to do is the paradigm shift. It's a complete with change. We are changing, and we are changing for the better. We are moving from exclusion to inclusion, from fear into love, from darkness into light. And the outcome is the master guide. For our master guide is here in assistance to us, to protect us, to guide us in our spiritual ascension path. And so call on your master guide. If you do not know him, just ask him to or her to reveal himself or herself to you. What we want to do is to stay on the highest plane of the third and fourth dimension. When I'm talking about dimension, it's about densities of experience. The third dimension being the mental and sensual, the world of senses and the mental process where we analyze what is going on within this physical world. We want to keep our thought as pure as possible and to stay on the fourth dimension, which is the dream state and the emotional realm, to keep the emotion as joyful as possible. For we are moving, doing that, we are moving step by step towards heaven, towards the fifth dimension. It is the doorway to heaven. For a very long time, primitive culture used to worship, to adore the planet and to adore the spirit of the world and to respect the planet. But as we move into industrial civilization, we digressed on that level. We stole the gold from the earth, and then from the gold we created money, then we bought property, and now we have property. It's my property. I can cut the trees and kill the animals inside my land. It's like so we need to respect and love them. I know men love private property. It's not about letting go of that just yet, but we need to. We need to Gaia, the planet needs our love, and so understand that if we what we take from the earth, if we respect and we take it with gratitude, it is given with love from the planet. If we take it without gratitude and recognition, it is stolen from the world. Then no matter what, people may accumulate all kinds of material things. If they do not have this consciousness at the end of their life, they're gonna have to experience the lack of connection that they've experienced throughout their own life. So we want to honor and respect the planet, to send our love to the planet. Understand wisdom and knowledge are like finding precious jewels, and there is always more. There is always new discovery. There is always more to know. There is never an ending to that. So we want to find to accumulate all those jewels. But wisdom and knowledge is very static. We cannot keep it for ourselves. There is no satisfaction and joy in keeping this knowledge for ourselves. The only joy and satisfaction is in sharing it. The more you are able to share the light, the more you will be able to receive the light. This is how it works. And so I was looking at there's more and more documentaries on the possibility of extraterrestrials on French TV, at least. I'm sure in America it must be the same, or around the world they're talking about this. Yet men cannot. They're beginning to recognize that there is intelligence in the animal world, and they call the cetacean animals. When actually, cetaceans are on a higher frequency of emotional. They're extraterrestrials that are maintaining a frequency. But it's a good thing that it's very slow, but the consciousness is progressive. And there is more and more questioning on many things that used to be not questioned before. Before we can move into this first contact, for men they're looking for the only thing the scientific world can conceive in terms of extraterrestrial life is through a joke of saying it has to be little green men that come from Mars, otherwise they cannot exist. They're looking for bacteria. they cannot accept the presence of higher intelligence when actually this higher intelligence is surrounding the planet, ready to assist men, but we have to let go of those war games, and it is whether it's in fiction or it is in reality. There is those war games, that this pleasure of domination, of making suffering others, to dominate, to become like heroes, and so we have to let go and make peace among ourselves. For the old pipe dreams, there was let us find a common enemy from outer space so we can unify the world. That was like Ronald Reagan, I think. Those on the higher planes that are assisting us are not our enemies. We have to make peace among ourselves, then we can find new friends. When we make friends among ourselves, we'll find new friends from the galaxy, from the surrounding world. Understand the first contact will be the most grandiose adventure. These coming events will make revelation that will be falling down like dominoes eventually, and will lead to the first contact. But the first contact is going to be grandiose, it's going to be peaceful, it's going to be the whole sky of the whole planet will be covered with millions of starships that will be with amazing light and beauty. That will be it will be the greatest moment of joy in historical, the most historical significant experience. We don't need to they're already there. It is just a matter of finding this peace with ourselves. And so another thing that is absolutely unethical, well, to want to export those war games into space, but also to point laser into the skies. Those things is very common in scientific circles. They're using the lasers, and they shoot lasers all over the place, but they don't know how it can affect, for there are certain worlds that everywhere in the universe, all around us, maybe distant, but the laser world take time to travel through space, but there are worlds that are settled, and when those lasers will impact the world, it impact the whole of society. So it is not acceptable to point lasers into the skies. So there is certain things, certain protocols that we need to understand before we can make that first contact, but we are here to prepare that. All the light workers are here to prepare this first contact, to open the mind of humanity so it can not self-destruct. For that, I was talking yesterday about the equation of Drake, like how many civilizations in the galaxy could be willing to communicate with us. There is the L at the end. How long does a civilization last? Or is there a civilization last up until its self-destruction, like in Lemuria or Atlantis, or even a total self-destruction? Then it gets it can happen. But if we do overcome this need for war and self-destruction, then we pass that, we move into a golden age, we become spiritualized, and then we exist forever. So there are civilizations that have been existing for millions of years, and if we go into closer to the galactic centers, there are millions of civilizations that are so far beyond, they're not even able to communicate with us, because they are fused into light and life for billions of years, and so they are fused with the spirit realm. So all of that we'll come to discover in due time. For space exploration, we need to discover new technologies, as I was speaking before. So there is new materials, new technologies, and when the time comes, I don't know, I may have to make association, partnership with the Ashtar Command, or the Arcturians, or the Pleiadians, or the Syrians. I'm not really sure. It may be just a collective association, an alliance that will be created. Also understanding that animals have angels with them. There's only one soul, and animals, there's a lot of animals that are suffering on the planet, which is completely unacceptable. We should take care of them. We should, because they were given as company to men. I'm not even talking about the animals that serve as food. If they serve as if they're chosen to incarnate in a species that will be used for food, then those animals, those souls have accepted that they need a good life and a painless ending. Basically, that's all they're asking for: to have to be loved and cared for during their life, and to have a peaceful ending. When the ending is not brutal or not. But they have angels with them, and there is only one soul. Some of them have more than others, but some of the angels are able to alleviate some of the pains of the animal kingdoms. For even the trees are higher beings of light. The minerals are life forms. For men do not recognize that just yet. The planet is a real being, is a real life form, and this is really what the primitive people knew, and they worship, they adore the sun, they adore the planet. They were living in total union and harmony, and we digressed a little bit with this materialistic atheist consciousness. What we seek is to complete our 3D karmic lesson. When we are affected by karma in 3D, we have the choice to respond with love and forgiveness, or to respond with hatred and vendetta. So if we do not respond with forgiveness, we're perpetuating a cycle that can be never ending. We have to complete the circle by letting go of the desire for revenge and vengeance and all those things. We have to make peace with ourselves and the world. Every day we are collectively creating a new earth. We are creating more peace, and so we all communicate. All those who communicate on those subjects are contributing to assisting the world in creating this inner peace. For we all contributing the more we're progressing, the more we are cultivating this collective possibility of creating this new earth that will be coming. And so I'm just sharing ideas and thoughts here. I'm being called to open the mind of humanity as much as possible, for it is my mission. Some of those ideas may be far out and they maybe not be recognized just yet. Well, it's the same cards that we had in French. So the past is enthusiasm, the situation is a trial, and the future is work. So right now we're still being. I still feel like I'm not really in a comfortable situation. I have my faith. The spirit says something will happen that will alleviate that. But if I have to let go of art, let go of communication, let go of my project, of my book and everything, just to make a transition, I will do that. It's not but hopefully something will come that will be able to continue painting and make that move out of here. What we're working on right now is letting go of the indulgence, to letting go of those things that we still have to. Sometimes we have to negotiate with our ego. Our ego wants a certain habits, so we one day at a time, one step at a time, we'll gain space towards our freedom, and the outcome will be success. So those trials, we have to meet the trial with joy, to cultivate joy and let go of the 3D confrontation of dualistic, and once we allow ourselves to not be so indulgent, to be more temperate, then we find revelation. More and more will be revealed. But there is great works that will be coming. We'll be able to work, hopefully, we'll be able to fulfill our destiny, our mission here on the earth. I also wanted to say that water is ascending, water is divine love, water is life, water is the most precious, it's something very precious. We have to learn to honor and respect water as an intelligence, as a form of intelligence. Everything is intelligent on the earth. Water has memory, so we want to... It cleans all, it purifies it through the rain, and so we want to love and send our love and respect water. There is two archangels that are working in the purification of the water. One is the great archangel Raphael, but more specifically there is the archeia Ashiel. Ashiel, call on Ashiel for whenever you drink water, or you're taking a bath, or you see the rain, or you look at the ocean, and you want to purify, you want to send your energy. So Ashiel will assist us. She's really working in this purification of the waters of the earth. For most of our body is made of water. It conditions our emotions. So drink pure and clean water. We want to move from third and fourth dimensional water to fifth dimensional water. Water continue to ascend all the way to the higher planes. For there is a universal truth, are real, but the only way to find it is to find it within. It's a living presence. For a higher truth, higher universal truth may be presented differently from one person to another. You have to find your own truths. For the old dogmas are all about the past, or things that were written as truths. They were just, of course, they were based on truth, but they were conditioning to a one time and space, one culture. Reality needs to be upgraded every moment. You are more powerful than any dogmas, and do not let other people impose their vision of truth on you. If you are sincere and honest, you follow your heart, you'll discover this higher truth. Do not be afraid of other people's opinion. Do not be afraid of death, for you are immortal being. You are not don't be a conformist or a rebel, just be you. And that's all there is need to be done. We can then let go of everything else. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I hope you can continue to cultivate this inner connection to yourself, to let go of all those things. It takes a while to disconnect all those old programming, but it's very significant for yourself, for your community, for your planet, for your solar system, for your galaxy, your universe. There is all kinds of forces that are at work, that are above our consciousness level. We have to accept that we may think ourselves to be wise, but we're never. The only wisdom is to know that there is more to know, that we do not know all that much, and then from there we discover a new level of wisdom. To stay humble in this relationship. The paintings behind me here is about the 7 families of spirit beings. I made many on that subject, some of them very different. And here's a portrait of Tali. I saw Tali is here. It's called she's Tali, but she's a spirit. She's been working with me. She's coming to see me, and so I thought he was one of the 9 muses, because there's a muse named Talia. And I started doing 8 other portraits of the muse, but then I did a portrait of Talia, so I have the 9 portraits of the muse that are working, and I realized she's one of the grace, and so I'm going to do a portrait of her two sisters, Aglaé and Frosine, which are the 3 grace, and so keep working on this. For spirits, they don't have those qualifications. It is just names that they've taken for us to recognize them. So it's all about vibration, energy, and reciprocation on the vibration level. We attract. We will continue to attract more and more spirits that will be coming to assist us and share with their energy. I'm going to sing a song. I took it a bit by random, but it's called Moon Shadow. It's a song by Cat Stevens. It goes like this. Oh, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, yes, if I ever lose my hands, oh hey, 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 I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, oh, if hey, 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 I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my leg, oh, if hey, 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 I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouth, oh, if hey, 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 I won't have to talk. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Did it take long to find me? And are you going to stay the night? Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Thank you very much for sticking till the end. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. And thank you for following those messages, for they will be continue to communicate on those subjects, for the light is increasing each and every day. And this song is about also what Led Zeppelin says in this song, Stairway to Heaven, the band Led Zeppelin. When they say when we walk on our road, our shadow is taller than our soul. For it's like in this world we choose to integrate this matrix where it's covered with shadows and layers of conditioning in order to assist in the transmutation until we can see that there is only light within ourselves. And so call on the light, invoke the light, ask that there is only light within yourself, and so it will be coming. It's a day after day, and more efforts. We are removing layers after layers after layers, and we are assisting the collective of humanity by our own effort. The card of the day is the Five of Ariel. You are not obligated to face all the challenges by yourself. Help is right at hand. Negative thoughts do not make things go in the right way. So do not indulge yourself we also have to do is to focus as much as possible on the outcome that is wanted rather than to looking at the problems that are already manifested. For the problems that are already manifested, sometimes we feel like we have to address them, but it is a trap. It is we have to create enough faith, enough light, enough power within our divine sorts that can manifest this new reality, which will erase all of the other problems. Well, I hope this message was meaningful for you. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.